Through the prayers of Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God of mercy, on us and save us. Amen. For those new here, my name is Father Joseph Swaden. I have worked in Orthodox apologetics since 1998, and I'm the founder of NFTU, True Orthodox and Ecumenical News, since 2004. Well, we've been in the apologetic space on Facebook since 2016 and on YouTube since 2018. And if you appreciate what we do here, please like and subscribe. Today we do our live Q&A session where you can get your questions answered live, as well as member-requested video reviews. So let's get started. And as always, if you want to jump on stream to ask a question or make a comment, just click the link in the top of the chat. I'll be taking super chats from the YouTube chat. And if you want your question or comment without super chatting, I will answer it. But you might miss if I don't put it up. So let's get started with the comments. First comments we've got. Father Antonios, good evening. Good evening, Father. Embrace Jesus and Orthodox as well. Hello again. Good evening. Good evening. And for the word is unchanging and orthodoxy is unchanging. That's true, very much true. And then there's the call in live invitation. As you know, there is a link in the top of the chat. If you are watching from X, that link should be in the X chat for this video. So if you're clicking it, you should see a chat box on the side and you should see the call in link there. I don't know if I hope one day they have a way to pin it. No, they don't, but I'll just write this one. Okay. Still learning XChat. But in any case, yeah, so let's take a look here. Today I wanted to talk about something that I thought was interesting. Yesterday, I spent a good part of the day talking about the Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria on X. Lots of friendly opposition there as to the concept of that what's happening to them, which I'm going to go over in a bit for those who are new here, wasn't illegal. And I realized that much defensiveness meant that I was probably over the target. So now we're going to talk about it a whole bunch. We're going to read the article. We're going to talk about this awful criminal activity being pursued by the Bulgarian New Calendar Patriarchate. We're gonna have lots of fun. And if people want to challenge me on this, I know that on X there were a few that wanted to jump in. Father Antonio is like friendly, yeah, they're friendly, you know. But if anyone wants to jump on from that X conversation, they're more than welcome to, or for any other topic. We are not limited to a single topic, but that is going to be what I'm going to be autistically spurging about today. And if you want to, spurg about something else, let me know and just pop on in. In any case, as always, it's a live Q&A. So one thing I should mention, I'm sure many people have been, I know many people have been because they've been helpful, out with the car situation because of the massive debt that was incurred from the repair. So I'm going to, I will gladly share what happened in the past 24 hours right after I show my goal for this week, where we can take it up a notch and blow it up and play Sonic the Hedgehog noises all day as we succeed, because the goal for the week is $1. The entire goal for the entire week is now $1. Thanks to one generous donor, we shall call him Mr. S for short. Literally just wiped out the entire debt, the entire car debt, thousands of dollars, like gone. I didn't know what to say. I was in shock. I want to say thank you for that. That's literally life-changing. I saw 90 days of struggle with this just vanish. And I'm as always, I'm really grateful. People tend to think that I've got just resources they can't figure out and stuff. And they don't. I have you. I have the people that watch. I have the people that listen. I have the people that I help out, that help me out. But more importantly, it's quite amazing. And with a member comment, yes, Little Wing 7 says, "Praise God." I'm amazed. I'm thankful to each of you for everything that you do, and prayers, donations, everything helps. But sometimes things like this just boom. I'm like, whoa. So thank God. That's it. So the goal for today is literally just $1 to just start making happy Sonic the Hedgehog noises because we have nothing else to worry about. God willing, at least for today. To my knowledge. So that part, I just wanted to start off with that, say thank you, and it's super awesome. I just can't explain how grateful I am. Okay, well, with that being said, let's get to what's going on with the old Bulgarian Old Calendar Church. That's the True Orthodox of Bulgaria. They're in communion with the GOC Kalinikos and the Rokor under Metropolitan Fungal. And they basically, this past Friday, the Bulgarian Appellate Court, and this time around, I'm actually going to read the whole thing because now that there are, people on X politely implying that liquidation doesn't mean liquidation, and destruction doesn't mean destruction, and persecution doesn't mean persecution. It just gets silly. So we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna try to explain some of the stuff. Give me a moment here while I do that. Okay, so we've had this on before, going on since Friday. This is from the Bulgarian news agency, so this is like their official like press service. I guess the closest thing we have to that would be something like not Interfax, that's Russian. Um, Reuters, etc., that sort of thing. So, but I think theirs is more state guided. But in any case, it says appellate court initiates liquidation deregistration of Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria. Let me see here. What is that? And so this is their main church in Sofia. You can see it's a very large, beautiful church. That is there. This is the spiritual home center in Sofia for the True Orthodox of Bulgaria in the capital. The article states a three-judge panel of the Sofia Appellate Court on Friday rendered a final judgment initiating liquidation and deregistration proceedings for the Old Calendar Church of Bulgaria, listed herein as OCOCB, the court said on its website on Friday. Acting on an interlocutory appeal lodged by the Sofia City Prosecution Office in July 2025, the SAC set aside a refusal by the Sofia City Court to terminate the OCOCB's registration. Keep in mind, the Sofia City Court refused to terminate their registration, and so the Sofia Appellate Court has jumped in to say, you must terminate this. In the reasons to its judgment, the SAC argues that revisions to the Religious Denominations Act, adopted after OCOCB's registration, provide that the designation of a denomination may not breach public policy and morals and be misleading, and may not contain the word orthodox or similar words with the same meaning. The transitional and final provisions to the amending law give registered religious denominations and applicants in pending proceedings for original registration 2 months to modify their designations and statutes. So just to get started here, what we're talking about is that the court is effectively saying the Bulgarian True Orthodox Church or the Bulgarian Old Calendar Orthodox Church can no longer refer to itself as an Orthodox church. And if it does, it is subject to liquidation of its property as a legal entity, so on and so forth. So this is kind of the path that is being pressed forward by the Bulgarian New Calendar Church against the Bulgarian Old Calendar Orthodox Church. So let me go here, and then let's see. Registered religious denominations which fail to fulfill this obligation and are under no pending proceedings for entry of charges arising from its fulfillment are dissolved. After the dissolution of the denomination, liquidation and deregistration proceedings are initiated on a motion by the Religious Denominations Directorate at the Council of Ministers or by a prosecutor. Among other things, the prosecution office in its appeal that the OCOCB did not meet the deadline for compliance and failed to modify its statute accordingly. The SAC states that the designation of the religious denomination Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria indisputably falls within the scope of this legal provision to the extent that it contains the word Orthodox. This was a decades-long legal battle. The Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria traces its beginnings to 1968, when the Bulgarian Orthodox Church decided to switch from the Julian calendar to the revised Julian calendar, otherwise known as the New Calendar. Some of the clergy and adherents of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church disagreed with the abandonment of the Julian calendar. There were also divergences over doctrinal and canonical points, as well as respect to the degree of autonomy of the church vis-a-vis the communist regime. As a result, the old calendarists, mostly centered on a convent in Nieshevo on the outskirts of Sofia, disaffiliated themselves with the Bulgarian Orthodox Church, which in turn disavowed them. In 1993, the OCOCB applied for registration to the Religious Denominations Directorate. The request was left without a formal reply. By 2013, that church had 24 priests and 2,000 adherents. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than that now, but that's beside the point. In the absence of a legal personality, it could not erect its own places of worship, and when it was unable to receive donations, formally employ its clergy or carry on business related to its religious practices. In February 2012, the SEC refused to register the OCOB, holding that the applicant church could not have a name identical to that of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church or use its assets, and it was beyond doubt that its name was identical. The OCOCB appealed that refusal of registration, submitting that the Religious Denominations Act prohibited the simultaneous registration of religious denominations with truly identical names, but did not bar the registration of one or more religious community from the same denomination, and arguing that many evangelical, Baptist, and other churches from one and the same denomination had already been registered. The SAC upheld that refusal on April 23, 2012. In a final ruling of March 29, 2013, the Supreme Court of Cassation refused to admit the appeal for examination. The OCOCB then applied to the European Court of Human Rights, ECTHR, which by a judgment dated April 20th, 2021, held that the right of the applicant church's adherents to freedom of religion and to an effective remedy had been violated. The ECTHR awarded the applicant 20,180 euros in pecuniary and non-pecuniary damages and costs and expenses. In November 2022, the Sofia City Council again refused an application for the registration of the OCOCB, and in February 23rd, the SAC left that refusal standing. Acting on a cassation appeal against the immediate appellate review judgment, the Supreme Court of Cassation held on December 16, 2024, that the expression Old Calendar included in the designation is sufficiently distinctive of the newly established religious institution, and also expresses the desires of the religious community with respect to the various feasts. The Supreme Court argued in its judgment that a registration of the cassation appellate could not possibly affect any rights of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church Bulgarian Patriarchate and its adherents. The requested registration is for a small religious community which has existed for 30 years and does not lay any claims to the internal organization and assets of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church Bulgarian Patriarchate, the court determined, affecting the entry of a religious institution named Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria into the Register of Denominations with the Sofia City Council. The Bulgarian Orthodox Church, that would be the new calendarists, and the executive and legislative branches of government deplored that judgment, as a result of which January 2025, Parliament amended the Religious Denominations Act, defining the Bulgarian Orthodox Church Bulgarian Patriarchate as, quote, the sole exponent of Eastern Orthodox Christianity, and prohibiting the existing or future registration of any other religious denomination having the word Orthodox or similar words as part of its designation. The law went into force on February 4th, 2025. So this is kind of an important thing to note. This is kind of like how awful they're doing. This is the program that they used in Greece. This is a program that they used in Russia. They've done this before, where they kind of legally enshrine themselves into law as the Orthodox in, for lack of a better word, nothing more than a brand presentation. We know for a fact that over two-thirds of the Bulgarian New Calendar's Patriarchate were actually agents of the Bulgarian state services. And so we know for a fact that these people were literally, by definition, they were a surgeonist entity, which is why not only does the Bulgarian Old Calendar Bulgarian Orthodox Church exists, but also the Bulgarian Alternative Synod, which has its own problem there on the New Calendar. But the whole point is the Bulgarian people did not want to be just under a state organization, and I don't believe that they still do, which is why alternatives are growing around them. Um, that said, it's understandable why for lack of a better word, the state church, in this case, the Bulgarian Patriarchate, the Bulgarian New Calendar Patriarchate, would want to protect their brand, as it were. The whole point is that the whole point is to make sure that no potential threats appear in the space. And as true orthodoxy continues to grow throughout the world, they're assessing us as threats. And so this is unfortunately what's going to happen. But the question is, what can we do? And I saw an Orthodox traditionalist YouTube page. There was he put up a statement from Bishop Maxentius of Portland, and I'm going to read that in full if I could. And this is actually pretty good. If you are not yet subscribed to Orthodox Traditionalist Publications, just do it. I say just go do it. Thank you. And buy their books because they make great books, which I know I said we were going to review them, but this week has been crazy. So let's take a look here. This is from Archbishop Maxentius of Etna, and he says, "Dear clergy, faithful, and friends, Evlogite, may God bless you. Last Friday, October 10th, the Bulgarian Appellate Court reached a decision, also reported here, to deregister and liquidate the Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria under the oversight of His Eminence, Metropolitan Foti of Triadica, as a response to its supposed threat to national security, quote unquote, sovereignty, quote unquote, public order, quote unquote, and morality, quote unquote, outrageous and incendiary charges made by politicians, ecclesiastical representatives of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church, and Patriarch Daniil of Bulgaria himself. The registration of the Old Calendar Orthodox Church of Bulgaria, OCOCB, with which the Church of the Genuine Orthodox Christians of Greece maintains full ecclesiastical relations as a sister church, was itself the outcome of 12 years of legal struggle, complicated by seemingly endless bureaucratic roadblocks, hurdles, and delays, obviously sponsored by those sympathetic to the New Calendar Bulgarian Patriarchate, or perhaps simply hostile towards religion in general. The reversal of the registration of the OCOCB, following special parliamentary acts prompted by protests from the official Bulgarian Orthodox Church and its supporters, constitutes a denial of the basic constitutional rights of the OCOCB, as judged by no less than the European Court of Human Rights and the Supreme Court of Cassation of Bulgaria itself. Please see the appended statement from the legal counsel of the OCOCB for a more precise explanation of the case. I don't know that YouTube allows attachments, but anyway. The OCOCB separated from the state-sanctioned Bulgarian Orthodox Church on account of the latter's involvement in irresponsible syncretistic ecumenism and a concomitant abandonment of the Orthodox Church's traditional festal Julian calendar with the adoption of the new Gregorian calendar in 1968. It was convinced that the innovating Bulgarian Orthodox Church was losing the salt of its Orthodox confession by these moves, and present circumstances vindicate that condition. Instead of Christian love, the Bulgarian Orthodox Church heaps slander and vilification on the OCOCB rather than respect the constitutional guaranteed religious and minority rights of the OCOCB. The Bulgarian Orthodox Church seeks its extermination. At the end of last Saturday's evening's vigil service, and one day after the appellate court's verdict, Metropolitan Foti informed his faithful of this disappointing and momentous decision. With poised courage and yet an obvious heaviness of the heart, he consoled his faithful, counseling them to maintain their Christian composure and, above all, not to succumb to the temptation to respond to their accusers in kind. Accusations, condemnations, anger, bitterness, and hatred were all absolutely unacceptable responses, His Eminence told his flock. Instead, they must follow their Lord by loving, blessing, and praying for all, including their would-be enemies. His Eminence's tone and demeanor conveyed his message as convincingly as his words themselves. Let the objective and discerning viewers of this contest judge for themselves who are the lambs and who are the wolves. I ask our faithful to pray for our Bulgarian brethren that the Lord will strengthen them for their contest, enlighten them their legal counsel, and, if at all possible, provide them with a passage through this trial, that they may continue their labors for the preservation of orthodoxy, the salvation of their souls, and the glory of God. I also ask those who have useful contacts with government officials to inform them of this matter, asking them to express their concern to the State Department, the Bulgarian Embassy in Washington, copied in this email, and relevant watchdog agencies. Your humble servant, Bishop Oxentius of Etna and Portland. So that is basically, it's basically what the response is. Try to get in touch with, any people you have in elected government, etc. Try to reach out to them, tell them about the plight of the Bulgarian or Old Calendar Orthodox Church, see what can be done to help them, from this attempt at persecution. So let's take a look here. Unseen Warfare says Antichrist behavior, national threat to our New World Order. Absolutely right. Bob E9 says, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you. Well, yeah, okay. We're not asking to be like given a parade or anything, but just like don't liquidate their churches and stuff and let them pray in peace and like don't, persecute them. That's all I'm asking for. So if we can do that, that would be considerably better. Let me see here. Okay. So we're back here again. This is our live Q&A show where you can get your questions answered live as well as member requested video reviews. So if you want to jump on the stream to ask a question or make a comment, just click the link in the top of the chat. Again, for those who have just joined us and for those wondering about my plight with the car, thanks to the joy, I can express with joy that thanks to a very generous donor, we have no more car bill. The whole thing's paid off. It was thousands of dollars. It's gone. Thanks and prayers to that donor. And so our goal for today is $1. If we get $1, I will ring the Sonic the Hedgehog bell. But I will also give the chance for everyone to not donate anything and force me to play the Price is Right losing thing. So, okay, you have a choice. But anyway, we'll continue. Also, it also means I don't stay an extra half an hour. So, or hour. So that's basically where we are here. I should also mention, as always, cafe time. If you're trying to get registered at the euphrosinoscafe.com, anytime that we are on live, just let us know with your username and we will add you directly on the broadcast. So let's continue on. This is a crazy time when you think about it. In terms of what we've seen happen, we have seen massive growth in True Orthodox churches, and now we're seeing the result of that, which is now the new calendarists are trying to use state power to stop us. This is not new. Anyone who knows the history of True Orthodoxy in any country knows that we've dealt with this a lot before. Bulgaria is kind of younger in the struggle, whereas True Orthodoxy really developed in Greece and Russia in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. It wasn't until nearly the 1970s that Bulgaria changed to the new calendar. So that was when things went wrong. Let me see here. Was it the Daniel York asked, was it the Carpatho Rus or the Bulgarians the first Slavs to convert to Orthodoxy? I want to say it was the Bulgarians, if I remember correctly. So this is something that is important to keep in mind. The idea that the agents of the Bulgarian state services, which was basically analogous to the KGB and worked with the KGB, comprised the majority of like the headship of the churches, the synods, over 2/3, 11 out of 15 of the ruling bishops in Bulgaria were under, and that's been established as fact um, since probably for about a decade now. They were exposed as being basically Soviet agents. And when the news media reported that, it caused a lot of shock. And it caused a lot of people to look elsewhere. And that's part of the reason why they want to liquidate the Bulgarian Old Calendar Orthodox Church now. Because if they, at this point, the momentum is no longer on their side. The momentum of pushing for ecumenism, pushing for more Sergianism, more statism, so on and so forth, where you couldn't tell if your priest was actually just going to report you, etc., to the authorities for not hinging onto the perfect understanding of Soviet life and communism. Uh, it's a shame. It's an embarrassment, and it always shocks me to see the people that defended them because they should be embarrassed that they're even doing that, and they're not. What you doing? What you biting? Okay, I don't know why, but the dog decided that it was about to make some noise, and so, well, it did. It did make some noise, and that's what it does. She's a good dog, and not gonna, and she can roam wherever she wants. So let's see here. Um, okay, no new comments. It's a quiet Thursday today, is it? There's nothing going on. It seems like we've talked about everything. I've talked about the old calendar Bulgarian Orthodox Church. We've been very grateful for the help we received, which helped pay for the car repair and all the associated debt and even some other debt. So I'm super grateful for that. But I'm not seeing any questions. Oh, I know what I can talk about. Hold on. Give me a second. There was, because it was mentioned to me by one of the NFTU family, who is not quite here today, or maybe he is and he's not saying anything. It said somebody made a comment on Death to Compromise's channel on the possibility of opening up a mission in Oklahoma City. There are many people unhappy with their bishops looking into true orthodoxy, but there are no true Orthodox in Oklahoma City, only in Tulsa, and most of us have no way to get there. This is really, yeah, it is a type of the mark, kind of, yeah, to sign on with the Soviet services, etc. And now we, of course, have digital ID to worry about. So let me see here. There are no true Orthodox in Oklahoma City, only in Tulsa, and most of us have no way to get there. Okay, so first off, if you have a bunch of Orthodox Christians in Oklahoma City, who are joined together and want to leave their bishops and want to join the true Orthodox, the smart thing to do is to call the priest in Tulsa. And the second smart thing to do is to pool some of the resources that you have together. Because if there's multiple members of, huh? Oh, okay, that wasn't for me. Um, if there's multiple people who are trying to get together and form a mission, it doesn't make sense for them to try to take a bus together. It makes more sense to incentivize the priest that's closest, and Tulsa's about 150 miles away, um, and see if you can get something worked out with the priest who's closest to drive down and do services in Oklahoma City. Um, that actually would be the most straightforward way to do it. I don't know if they've tried, but if they haven't, that's the way I would proceed. As always, start getting together, start saying your Typica. I've talked about it a lot. You can use the basic book, use readings from websites. You can use the Red Book, Divine Prayers and Services, for to get virtually all the readings for the Sundays. There are things that can be done, and you have to do them rather than just say, oh, well, looks like it's too far. Like that's not how. If you're serious about your orthodoxy, you're going to get together, work with what you have, and then present that to the priest who is closest to you to see if he can come down. That's the way I would approach it. Um, but yeah, Tulsa is not too far. That is far for a one person or a few people trying to figure out how to get there. But for the priest, it's that's a 3 hour drive. I would say pay for the gas if you can, pay for the hotel room if possible. Make it easy. So it's just it's a simple and straightforward way to get that taken care of. But if there are more of you in Oklahoma City, then don't say there are no true Orthodox in Oklahoma. You're the true Orthodox in Oklahoma. So you're not yet, but you have to be received. But you can make that motion together. Let me see here. Daniel York says, "Is there any other books that talk about the Western Rite except Vita Patrum?" Uh, Quite a few, but that's one from Father Seraphim where he did a nice overview. The books that talk about Western rites are just simply Western fathers. If you look at the writings of Saint Gregory the Great, etc., he's writing from the perspective of the structure of prayer of the Roman Rite. So you'll see things in his writings that are specifically for Western Rite feasts and practices, which are not that different from Eastern Rite feast and practices. So yeah, I would say, I mean, if you're looking for going into, yeah, because that was what was in Vita Patrum was meant to be an overview of the Western Orthodox world at the time. To get more specific, you'd have to look up those documents specifically, like what were the services like? You'd have to look up older service texts. What did they eat like? You'd have to look up cooking and cuisine of the time. If you want to know how how different classes lived, that's again, this is these are all books that have specializations and they do exist. But in order to kind of the what was in Vita Patrum was to kind of whet the appetite to learn more about Western Orthodoxy. But there's lots of books that do that. Yeah, because it goes well over a lot of things. So I hope that helps. And so yeah, all right, we are now in. Well, we're actually only in the first half hour. And Troy Festoon says, "Are you or anyone in the chat aware of any Orthodox polemic against the unleavened bread of the Armenians since they adopted it first? I'm interested in the pre-East West schism texts against the practice." There are. I'd have to look them up. Let me just see if I can find anything. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Do. Mhm. Okay, this looks like I'm looking at this thing by Demacopoulos, but that automatically tells me there's an agenda behind it. Let me take a look here. Okay, try this. What's this? Armenian Jewish connections in light of pre-modern Armenian polemical literature from Iran. Okay, let's see here. One thing I will say is it seems that there is a welcome Father Boniface. Hold on.
Benedicite.
Benedicite. How's it going?
Okay. I was going to say, as far as Western Orthodoxy goes, there's Vladimir Moss has a lot of good information on his website or on his archives there.
Yeah, he does. Like the Saints of Orthodox England. It was a very famous series.
There's a
Um,
series of Celtic spirituality. There's a nice book on that. Um, and then again, of course, we have our liturgy, which is on Lulu, or St.
yeah.
Gregory's Press. And so I would encourage people to get volumes 1 and volumes 2 and get the Red Prayer book. Um, and that get in touch if they want to get in touch with me. And certainly, because I love the Western Rite, and so I'd be happy to help out in any way I can.
So yeah, to answer that question, yeah, I'd say that there are books. You'd have to do some research. A lot of it's going to be tied to the Judaizing tendency on the Armenian part to use unleavened bread. But there were actually apparently polemics even well before the schism and then shortly afterwards. Um, Let me see. Did Armenian churches have an iconostas? Iconostas. I'm not sure. The iconostas, to some degree, I'm sure they had like temple screens and things like that, and that developed into what we know as the iconostas in around the 11th century. Basically, I don't know that they probably had something parallel to the practice, but I wouldn't say it would. I don't know that it looked like in iconostas. One thing we will say is that when you're dealing a lot with Oriental Orthodox, sometimes you'll notice that their vestments are sometimes very westernized. This is not because that was their original tradition. It was due to the influence of Crusaders in the 12th and 13th centuries. So it's hard to say. Um, but in any case, definitely, I would do some more searching on that. Intrule Festun Lachen 1883. Uh, yeah, because the books like that do exist, but you have to watch the agenda of the editors, etc., and then try to find original source text, which usually these books will reference. So that's the best way I'd go about it. Let me see here. What else have we got here? Well, it's a good time to mention, especially now that the car is finally taken care of. Um, Let me pull this up one more time. Good time to remind that on November 7th, on the Gospel Truth channel, we are going to be debating the papacy. It'll be myself versus Elijah Yassi, and we shall see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be it's a big deal. I've been waiting a long time to do this type of debate, and this is hopefully the first time, and hopefully we'll see more times where we can go really up and up against each other on the proper Orthodox position, which I believe is unassailable. And I pretty much think I think that's been my experience, at least in debates. I haven't seen anyone successfully argue otherwise. So, been waiting for this one because a lot of papists get nervous with us. All right, so let's see here. So, let's see. Okay, interesting. Daniel York asks, question for Father Boniface. What is your opinion on the progressive era and the women's suffrage movement? I feel like this is a trap.
Ha! Well, what was it? Elizabeth Cady Stanton has testified before the U.S. Senate on the issue of suffragism, and well, I tell you what, it goes back to the founding of the American uh, republic, representative republic, quote, democracy. And the idea of rights became the big issue. And so the idea of rights, well, who had the right to vote? Well, in the beginning, it was only the landed gentry. And then actually, the slaves got the right to vote before the women did. And so then, of course, the idea is that what is a citizen of the United States? And, who is allowed to vote in this representative republic, okay, where it's of the people, by the people, for the people, right? Wrong. Okay. That's a kind of a ruse. And so it's so then when women are saying, we're people too, and we have rights too, and therefore we should have a right of say in our government. And so you have, and then it's going to be the rights of the young people, not 21 but 18, and then it becomes other minorities, and now it's devolved to the point where any immigrant who is without citizenship is getting the right to vote in all practicality. And so, in other words, the standards have fallen, and democracy, this country has not upheld the standards of what the identity of a citizen is. Okay? So, this whole idea of rights has been a battlefield because it was a weakness of the Constitution that allowed that to take place. And so that's just a part of the whole problem with the identity of what is America. And so who has a voice in the government? Because America, because it did not have an established religion, according to the First Amendment, really lost its identity. They have no religious underpinning. It's a syncretistic, pluralistic, Masonic, Unitarian mishmash of all kinds of faith, and so there's no stable guide for the American government by which to govern itself. So there you go. So the question is that, it's just a big mess. And so who rules America? Well, actually, the news media and the powers that be working behind the scenes, they're just using people as their pawns to achieve their agenda of basically, with democracy, anarchy, the dissolution of all order, to the point where the end of democracy becomes tyranny. So the women's suffrage movement has just been largely an attack against authority, an attack against male authority. And so it's just part of that whole scenario that's been going on from the beginning of the founding of this country. So it's not founded on Christian principles. That's baloney. That's a lie. It was founded on humanistic principles, like with the French Revolution and things like that. And so I hope that's a little bit of an answer. Any more
I think
questions? Let me know.
it was a pretty good answer in the fact that if you're following kind of a system that is basically already defiant to authority by its nature, it's only a given before everybody is trying to declare themselves their own master over everybody else. And that
Elizabeth
includes women.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who testified on behalf of suffrage, read her testimony. I've read it. Wrote the feminist Bible, where she tore out scriptures and put them in the feminist idea. She hated Christ. And so you've got, look at the kind of people running the movement.
Yeah, Daniel York actually says, because one of the arguments our history teacher made, gave a little class, was that the suffragettes were put in mental hospitals for what they believed and were treated horribly. And then he asked, were they actually treated horribly? Well, even if, let's assume that the answer is no, perhaps some of the things they were saying sounded so insane that that's why they were put in mental hospitals.
Well, they got out.
Let's see here.
They spent their time and they got out, and they're alive and well, and they're doing pretty good. Okay.
All right, and Denise Little Wing 7 says 100% Father Boniface, and so yeah, and now I get to announce this, that apparently, Orthopirate, I figure he doesn't mind being noted, donated $25. We're now $24 over the goal, which means everything now is this sound. And we are here until 11. So now I can sit here and You guys didn't have enough questions, but now it's too late. The game is on. We have to, if you want to hear that sound again, I'll just play it again just as I can. And so the point is, from here on in, this is where it gets. This is where. Okay, this is where we just get jumpy and stuff, but really nothing else changes. Okay, so let's take your Reader John winning. I forgot to add that. Okay, so we got to do the correct. I need to add Reader John's voice to both of these, but yeah, so properly it would be winning. I don't even do it well. I don't do it well. All right. Matthew Metanoyev, do you guys think voting does anything? The concept is good, but it seems like it's a complete show. I personally am really kind of more for monarchy. I don't have that much interest in democracy. I think there was a recent poll showed that 60% of young Americans think democracy is failing. Well, I mean, they've had their whole lives to live under it, so maybe we should change that. Maybe we should move everything back towards a republic, and where votes are only held by people who are owning property. Everything all right, Father? Oh, you're kind of staring at something.
I thought no, I I think that it's a sham. It's like I said, of the people, by the people, for the people is not true at all. It's a fabricated lie, and it's a deceptive move because I need to study this more, but really the powers that be that founded this country were like the British East India Tea Company. All the men in authority were wealthy. They were oligarchs. Even the Constitutional Convention was not held according to proper order. It was not totally agreed on. Some states objected, so they had no right even to convene, but they did anyway. And so they said, "Look, this is it, right?" And so you know, and there's a book I have it, but I haven't read all of it. But Modern Chivalry, where Mark Twain did a critique of the book. He said it's basically saying that democracy puts a man who's like a farmer who wins the popular vote and gets elected, but he's unqualified really to handle state affairs. And a monarchy, these kids grow up, people grow up in that atmosphere, and they're taught and trained, and they're supposed to be honorable people. Okay, we all, not all of them were bad. I mean, not there were good ones out there. That's a better
There were
way
a
to put it.
lot of good ones. Yeah, it was mostly good.
There were good kings, there were good queens, and basically the democratic history books condemn them and slander them, talk evil against them because they hate authority. Um, And so, but the idea of a vote is, well, let's put it this way: money runs the media. The news media, even back in colonial times, was manipulated by the money people and the intelligentsia, the elites of their time.
Yep.
The same way in Christ's time. The Pharisees were running the narrative about crucify him. They persuaded the crowds. They knew how to control the crowds, and they still do. And so the crowds are controlled by the media, and the voting that goes on now, all the candidates are vetted. If you're a man with morals, you're going to be vetted out. You're not going to get anywhere. You'll be slandered and kicked down, and you won't even make it anywhere. And the higher up you go, the worse it gets. And so that's the American system. And so the vote is just a ruse because all those people are selected by the powers that be.
Yeah, I agree completely. Or the pirate with a member chat. Remember, you can get it on the screen if you are a member. If you wouldn't run your house like a democracy, why would you want your nation ran that way? Absolutely true. Taylor Harden with a member chat, winning donut party till 11. And Bob says voting seems like consenting to their system. Daniel, you asked the question. I put it last. Thoughts on Scott Ritter? Scott Ritter's if you're talking about the RT analyst, the former military guy that does stuff on RT, I would, my opinion of him is mixed. RT, like even ABC or CNN is a partisan driven organization. That said, spooks got to eat too. My interest is that in the fact that a number of former Intel people also have gone off on him and think he's a moron about certain things. So
But
I leave that judgment untouched. Sometimes he has some good takes. I've heard about the quote unquote criminal activity against him. I haven't dug deep into it, but it does make me like, not sure. So
wasn't he
my
a
feelings are, huh?
wasn't he a weapons inspector for the
Uh,
WMDs
no, I think so.
back back with Iran and stuff like that? So he's been in the thick of the system, and so these guys come out. It's easy for people to badmouth any politician. I see that with George Galloway. I listen to him. It's interesting, but you can critique Trump and basically cuss him out or whatever you want to do and show all his errors. Well, what else is new? Because guess what? If we looked at George and the way you do things, we'd find the same thing. It's like with Lenin; they hated the monarchy, but he ends up with the same problems. It's the same with Cromwell,
Yeah,
with Charles.
absolutely.
They condemn the authorities, and then when they get in power, they got the same problems too. So they're a bunch of
Yeah,
condemners, a bunch of prophets of the obvious, and you just got just be careful not to listen to him because he's as bad as the guy he's criticizing. The ones of
yeah, but
virtue are going to
you
be the Orthodox, people who believe in monarchy, blah.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's I would say that it's a mixed thing. I would take what he says with a grain of salt, but as long as you're listening to other high info, intelligence community type people, and they start to when they sound like they say very similar things, then it's either completely right or completely wrong. So that's where you have to kind of go with that when you're studying this stuff. But yeah, he's popular on RT because he says things that are contrary to the American government, but that's his job. That's what he's paid for. So just take it with the same grain of salt you would take any of the crazies on CNN.
What solution
Um,
does he have to offer? Get
huh?
back to the Constitution.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's true. Actually, if we just did that, things would actually be better. But
Well,
let's take.
yeah, the
Oh, go ahead.
Constitution was a mess in the beginning, though. So anyway,
Yeah, you're still you're yeah. Unfortunately, that's the problem. Is that you would have to change things radically, and that's not my cup of tea. Like that's
the
that's not my pay
Constitution,
grade.
the Constitution has produced the problems that we have today. The only difference in the beginning in the 1787 and now is the Christian influence and morality that was prevailing in the culture at the time. That's the only thing that kept those people more in check. But now that the reins are loose and there's less influence, they have more rein to produce their iniquity. But back then, they were plenty of corrupt people. Thomas Jefferson, Franklin, they're corrupt. So anyway,
Well, it makes me wonder. I mean, because obviously they weren't orthodox; they were heterodox. But the point is, when you see these big movements that are calling people to Christianity back, or that nebulous sense of Christianity, the reason I ask is because I saw a poll that said something like 41% of Americans have bought a Bible for the first time in like this year, and like they're coming to churches that obviously we don't recognize as Orthodox. But the question is, could if we could get at least to back to the 17 and 1800s sort of thinking, would it be an improvement over now? Whereas, it's I mean, because now is terrible, but to that degree, there was terrible back then too. So it's a tough question.
I would agree, but but you have to remember that at the founding of this country, it was founded on the basis of humanistic principles of the rebellion against monarchy coming over from Britain.
Yeah,
Okay, and so therefore, to get it's basically getting more moral, get back to the Ten Commandments and moral issues. But remember, we were still founded on rebellion, on principles of rebellion against authority. So I would just say capitalize on the movement with orthodoxy and promote it to the hearing of the people like never before. And I think that's what's opening up for orthodoxy to do because of the internet, is that we
And
can
that
jump
itself
on
could
that issue.
lead to an orthodox form of government, which would, at least probably, I would think, would be kind of at least somewhat closer to a return to the royal power. So, but I mean, in fact, people have said, well, what would we do? Would we go on back under under King Charles? And I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. But there's nothing stopping America from having an Orthodox monarch if the church blesses it and we have leadership that works that way. I mean, I'm not against it. Um, I'm not like actively campaigning for it either. And there's too many people who are ready to make Trump king. That would be that would be I mean, that would still probably be better than the alternative, but not a good alternative. Um, huh. Yeah, I think this question has kind of yeah, it's kind of gone there.
To get back to authority would mean
Mhm.
the authority in the family with the honoring of the father and the submission of the wife and the humility of the children to
Yeah.
honor that authority. And as far as that's concerned, we've got a long way to go when it comes to that.
Well, but yeah, but it starts at the family. So I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen fathers wielding authority in their houses, and younger fathers doing so, and I think that it's working. Not always, but a lot of the time it is, and usually when it doesn't, it's because there was something else wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Let me see here. How is a patriarch created? A patriarch has to be created by the consent of the church and the people. This is why, even though technically metropolitan, there's a metropolitan Tikhon, is it, of the OCA? Technically, he holds a patriarchal rank in America. Most Orthodox don't pay attention to it. To the degree that our Metropolitan John has full autonomy in the United States. Once again, the people have to be able to have a say in the election of the patriarch. And that will occur when there is a united Orthodox Church, and that will occur when they are constituent of at least most of the American people, if not all. Um, that's something in the future I couldn't even figure out. Um, Let me see here. Matthew says, "What about a Catholic or Protestant monarchy? Because that is more likely to happen if we went that route." I'm not sure how likely that is to happen in the American territories. I don't see people. No one sees Juan Carlos or Charles as authority figures that they want in American life. They can barely handle their own countries. They're figureheads that spend a lot of time making a mockery of what the monarchy was. These modern day people some of them hold the royal power, but they don't have the royal brain.
And it's
Uh,
good points. And of course, monarchy, Protestant monarchy, was again based on, well, it had its originality with Orthodox monarchy because
yep,
the Protestants' history is Orthodox in England. And then what happened was is that the power of the monarchy eroded over time, where the people started to come in and force the king's hand. And then constitutionalism is the people's writing of the laws to override the king and make him submit to their will through a constitution. And then the Catholic monarchy, granted they're hierarchical, but he's submissive to the Pope. And so,
yep,
and again, the Catholic monarchy was originally Orthodox monarchy, which devolved. It became
Well, it
heretical.
evolved with the help of the papacy itself after the formation of Roman Catholicism.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you're going, so if you get a Catholic or a Protestant monarchy, you're still problematic. They need to come back to the pure position. Orthodoxy was the origin and the tutor of all those issues.
Indeed. Let me see here. Dave Church's let me see here. Cause it what was that? Was that the dog? Um yeah, I'm not sure about Stave churches. I would have to do a little more research on them. They're pretty. They seem to have the correct setup inside, for lack of a better word. Their subdivision. But I don't know when they started, but they do. I couldn't see why they couldn't be. They certainly do look kind of orthodox, and they do look different than other churches. So I'd say maybe, but you'd have to show me the research to demonstrate it. Uh, but let me see here what we've got. Just a reminder, thanks to the kindness of one of our community, uh, I cannot thank them enough. They cleared the car debt, and because of that, we have now broken the goal for today, which was $1, because I've just been so grateful. And again, just because you get to hear that again. Winning. I can't do it. I can't. I'm not reading. Okay, stop. Okay. Um, Lindorfer, what is the definitively best breed of dog? Um, I mean, all of them. I mean, all dogs are great. There's no less than great. Let me see
How about
here.
the use? Dogs
Yeah,
have particular uses, you know. Some are good in one ways and some are in other.
yeah. Like you can scare bears with Shiba Inu, but you can. They're terrible sheepdogs, but sheepdogs are great sheepdogs, and you've got the mop dogs that are useful for protecting basically anything. Um, and then even small dogs act as alerts, and there's
Yeah,
just different uses for different dogs.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
he said had a stroke. Sorry. Okay, well that's okay. Um. So yeah, if that sounds like a cop out, I'm sorry. I'm an owner of a mutt, a Yorkie poo or something of that nature, and it is a great little dog. So like, but is it the best breed of dog? I don't know, but Daniel York asks, "What are Chechens? Chechens are residents of Chechnya." Okay, and Little Wing with a member chat loves the dog. Okay,
And Chechnya is largely Muslim, isn't it?
Chechnya is largely Muslim. Yeah, it is, and so well, we'll see. All right. Well, this has been great so far. We are now in the third minute of the second hour. And as you know, I will be staying till 11 o'clock tonight. 11 o'clock. So that's the goal for tonight. And since no one has any more questions, I'm just gonna get some rest. See you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that.
I'm going I'm going to get off the picture video because I'll listen to you because I got to cook some dinner. I had a
Oh,
busy
that's a
day.
good idea. All right.
I
Well,
had a busy day.
today is a peaceful day, so we are going with it's a relaxed day. So go cook your dinner, enjoy, bon appetit, and
I'll
let
be
us know
listening
when it's
though.
done. All right, sounds
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't heard the question "What's for dinner" lately, but
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
know. We
be.
used to get that almost every week,
I
but
know,
I
I
guess
know. Well, I'll be having hamburger, probably some my typical hamburger, fried onions, and then I put in some tomato sauce, you know. Ah, there you go. Look, I'm going to sign off on that face here and just put the icon up, and then I got to get to work.
All
All
right.
right.
I'll let you go. I'll let you, just if you want to come back in, just come back in.
All right.
Okay. So let's see here. Or the pirate says peppers. Yes, peppers are good. Ah, let's see. Trying to think here. What shall I guess I will call this I guess the kids call this the chill stream. So I guess I will refer to it as such, and I will go to sleep. And I'll just wake me up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep. My Matishka just walked by and turned around and heard that and thought it was kind of insane. So I'm not doing that. All right. So okay. So I'm gonna put out Father Boniface because if anyone wants to jump in, remember this is still a live Q&A. So if you want to jump on the stream to ask a question or make a comment, just click the link in the top of the chat. Um, and of course, as always, I'm taking a break from asking for help today because I I'm sure I'll be asking for help by Sunday. But if anyone wants to jump on stream to talk about what we've talked about, this is your chance. Click the link in the top of the chat and just join in. If you are on the X chat, I have it in there, but hopefully we'll see. And of course, it is also cafe time. So if you want to trying to get registered at the most exclusive Orthodox forum on the internet, the frosenoscafe.com, you have to let us know in the comments so that we can sign you in and get you inside. So let's see here. Matthew Metanoia says, "What if the Protestant monarchy promised free Baja Blast? Then let's see how you'd feel about it." I know that a lot of people, for some reason, believe that I am this like weird soda addict. I like Baja Blast very much, but I mean, I drink it maybe once every 2 months. Like it's just not something I do. I don't know where it, and I have to have Baja Blast Zero, so it's even less enticing, but it's still good. It's just that I don't do that. I'm gonna go to the notes. I want to try this. You know that this thing has a teleprompter on it now, so like you can't see my screen. But oh, Father Boniface is back. Hold on. Welcome back, Father Boniface. Okay, he's not saying anything. Okay, I think he just wants to hear it from inside the. Oh, okay, okay. Let's see here. So yeah, there's a teleprompter on this now. I didn't use it today, but I wonder what it looks like. I'm just curious. So like, if I do that through the prayers, good evening for those new here. Okay, this doesn't. This is weird. That's weird. It just puts the text on my screen. So I already have the text on my screen and a little thing that says notes. So in any case, let's see here and what else is going on and get back to let's see. So yeah, the answer to the question, Matthew, is even a monarchy offering Baja Blast would not be enough for me to automatically sign off on it. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't live in a country with a Protestant monarchy anyway. I'm just saying that Baja Blast wouldn't be like the tipper for me. So I apologize, but Daniel York 5547 says, "How can I keep track with the old calendar?" Well, you mean the church calendar. The easiest way is to purchase a calendar. And then it's on your wall and you can follow it and follow the days accordingly. If you are one of these digital natives who hates everything paper, so on and so forth, you either have Android or iOS. I myself am an Android user, and you get an app like this that's called Orthodox Calendar. For the most part, it's good. It is run by a Moscow Patriarchate parish. Let me see if I can show it again. Give me a second. Okay. So if you look at it from here, you can see that that has the saints of the day, etc., and has the readings of the day. You have to double check on some of the new martyrs because they've added Sergius, etc., but it's not many because there weren't that many Sergius. In that case, okay, that's an interesting question. Lindorfer says, "What is the rarest book you own?" At the, I would probably guess. I mean, for me, the rarest thing I own is probably the 4 volume set of the Avergatinos, um, which was printed by the monastery in Etna. That was given to me as a gift a long time ago, but it's not that rare. It's just I happen to have a hardcover set. Um, Outside of that, not it's nothing special. Um, my wife has a copy of the Rudder, but again, these are they're not particularly hard to find, and we actually have digital copies of the Rudder, which are just fine. So I'm not, I don't have anything I pride myself on. Um, I'm of the belief that books shouldn't be rare. So, I try to see, when people want to produce more books, etc., I want to see more books written, and so on and so forth. When books are considered like trophies in a relatively literate society, I hate that we become almost like the richest man in the world in Voltaire's Candide. It's we start valuing things that we barely read. The value of my library is that for the most part, I've read everything in it. And that is the way we should look at libraries in general. To own books for the sake of owning books that's just like collecting coins. Like, sure, but you're not any better if you don't read it. So, that's my answer. I hope that was sufficiently disappointing to keep you from trying to rob my house. Um, anyway, no, seriously, that's as valuable as it gets. So, better luck with the TV, I guess. But let me see. Not much else going on. If there are any other questions, even if they are weird, just like that one, feel free to ask or jump on the chat. You can also, jump on the chat by just if you want to ask, jump on stream to ask a question or make a comment. Click the link in the top of the chat. I myself am going to take a short, momentary step away from my desk, so I will BRB. Actually, I should create a BRB thing that would solve that, like instead of the water thing. Or hold on, I'll just save that. Okay, that up. Welcome, Reader John.
Father bless.
May God bless you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so we're back. How's it going, Reader John?
It's going.
Yeah,
I feel like we're winning.
Oh, gotta do it. Hold on 1 second.
Winning.
Perfect. Now I can record that. All right. Let me see here. Somebody asks, Father, have you visited the relics of Saint John? Perhaps say in his chair. If so, what was the experience like? I have not. I know a number of people who have visited the relics of Saint John, but I'm not one of them. I have never been to California, so that's where they are. And so, yep. I apologize. I've heard of many miraculous things happening when people go to the tomb of Saint John. And some of them you can actually find in the book Man of God that I mentioned to Leonidas. But I personally have never, visited his relics. I'd like to one day. One day I will get around to, getting to further out in the country than Arizona. And I've only been there once, and it was driving. And that wasn't my stop. Aye, but one day I will get to the West Coast, I think. What Daniel York asks, what's your favorite Orthodox chant? The Fosse Larion or the O Gladsome Light? Matthew Metanoia asks, they have the relics of the Apostle John in California. They have some relics of Saint John the Apostle everywhere. There's a number of places. I think even the Abbey has a small relic of Saint John. But I think they were referring to Saint John Maximovich because he's, intact, and it was his physical church that he owned. Let me see here. Lindorf to Matthew says Glinsk Pateticon is special to me since St. Skeet didn't publish many of them. What about you? Also really love my Bible. Yeah. The books that you treasure are the books that are really valuable. For the record, the books behind me are actually an encyclopedia. I picked that, believe it or not, I picked that up about 4 or 5 years ago. And I picked it up because I was studying something called the Mandela effect. And I wanted to see what old knowledge looked like compared to now. And I never had a full set of an encyclopedia when I was a kid. And my uncle was an encyclopedia salesman. So we would randomly get volumes of encyclopedias that didn't match. And I tried to get the ones that they used to sell, like in the supermarket. You could get A and then B and then C.
Oh yeah, we had those, the World Book Encyclopedia.
Yeah, I could never get a full set. Yeah. So when I saw a complete full set at the thrift store for 25 cents a volume, I bought the whole thing, partially for research and partially out of just a childhood, fulfilling a lost childhood dream. Underneath, you see the books are the prologue, the Evergetinos. Then there's some new books, many of which are from Orthodox traditionalist publications, such as St. Joseph of Petrograd. And then above that are some interesting books. Some of them are prayer books. Some of them are church fathers texts. And one of them is by Greg Gutfield, which I thought would be better than it was. A book by Pat Buchanan, which I thought would be better than it was. Although he did write some pretty good books, but
he did.
That one wasn't that. That one was what is that?
He's hit or miss.
Yeah, I was like the Death of the West. It was meh. Matthew Metanoia says, Lind, I don't. Let me see this. I cannot read your name. It's in Georgian, so I don't know that script. I'm not even gonna lie. What's the biggest Mandela effect that I've experienced? Probably the concept of the kidney shot. In Boston, in boxing. Most people who are over the age of 30 know what a kidney shot is. It's usually, if you go it's a hit to here.
Yeah, from behind usually.
But from the back. Really. Yeah, because that's where the kidneys are.
Yeah.
According even to that encyclopedia, that's where the kidneys are.
Yep.
However, in modern medical knowledge, the kidneys are slightly below the rib cage, which makes the kidney shut nonsensical. So that means that either A, the kidneys have moved, which I guess is possible, or B, there was a misunderstanding of the kidney shot. So that was the strangest one. Daniel York asks, "Do you like the Georgian Orthodox?" Yeah, I like all the Orthodox as long as they're true Orthodox. There's Georgian True Orthodox. I like them great. And so I like real Orthodox people.
I like their chant.
That's what I like.
Their chant's
Oh,
beautiful.
their chant is pretty cool. Yeah, I like their. I listened to there was this one choir that did a "Christ is Risen" in a Georgian style chant. And I guess they did that during COVID when everyone was recording their own choir pieces by having their friends on Zoom. And it's a fantastic chant.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. But
yeah, there's one that my sons used to fall asleep to. It was like a penitential one. It would just, man, it sounded angelic.
that's awesome. All right. Well, let me see here what else we've got going on. Can you play the Georgian chant of Christ? Are you asking me to review it? Is that what you're asking? I shall review media. I guess I could do this. Why not?
Because that would be fair. That would be fair usage if we reviewed it.
Yeah, we're reviewing quality here.
Yes.
So hold on. That's the point. So we have to afterwards we have to grade it.
Thumbs up.
Sounds like a plan. Now here we go. All right, so hold on. We're gonna have to here. Give me a second. Whoops, wrong button. Okay. All right, and then we will share it, and then we will review it. So we're gonna review it. We're gonna review it. That's what we're doing. Officially, we are reviewing the chant. Share screen.
Let God arise, let his enemies be scattered, and let those who hate him flee from before his face.
Christ is risen from the dead.
Trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs. Bestowing light. As smoke vanishes, so let them vanish, as wax melts before the fire. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs. Bestowing light. So let the sinners perish before God, but let the righteous rejoice. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs. Bestowing light. This is the day which the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs. Bestowing light.
Okay. First off, musically, I'm gonna give that a 9.5.
I'm definitely say that's winning.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I will say that the one thing I was not a fan of was the kind of how they were moving the faces and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
as somebody who grew up watching the Brady Bunch, that
Yeah.
that kind of intro, like I was like, stop doing that. At one point, like the same guy appears in two different shirts, so it was like totally like I get it. It took a while to put that together. The hymn itself is beautiful. The way they performed it, as I said, 9.5. Visuals, I'm going to give them a 6 out of 10. So,
I,
how about
my,
you,
my,
Reader John?
yeah, I would say, yeah. I think the Brady Brunch thing is definitely appropriate.
I felt bad, but that's all I could think when you're like seeing
but
like stuff switching up, and like then all of it was like this and then this, and
but
dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, and then you see here's this guy with two different shirts on. So I was like, but that was but the visual, let me
but
see.
musically, I would give him a 9.5 for a different reason. I wish it was an actual Georgian because it just sounds more beautiful.
Oh, now that's an interesting thing because beautiful, but the collar kills the vibe. All right,
Yeah.
this is fine. Let's see. Guy with Georgian name I can't read says check out the Saint Simeon Orthodox Church choir version. I wonder if that one will be in Georgian.
Are you talking about Saint Simeon from like Alabama?
I have no idea. I don't know. Let me see.
I think they're the ones that are talking about it.
Oh, welcome back, Father Boniface. How was eating?
I'm not done yet. I'm still cooking. I'm getting
Oh,
there though. I'm
okay.
getting there.
All right.
I can. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say that being Western right, I like chanting that we do in English, but some of that old Latin stuff is really beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
So
one group.
go
There's
ahead.
one called Gregorian chanting one word, and they do have a couple psalms, and Psalm 91, and or some of the stuff is.
Yeah,
I
when they
think
do
it's a
the Psalter. Yeah.
modern version. It's a little bit more modernized, but it's really pretty.
I just realized
So
that the way this is formatted, we now look like we are also part of the Brady Bunch.
Here's a story of it.
So you have to look. You have to look over there to look at the other people up and down. And
Here's a story of a father named Joe Nuts.
Oh no, not the Joe Nuts. Let me see here. I'm trying to find this that Orthodox.
I can give you an example of one that would be losing.
Okay, go for it.
Appalachian Orthodox chant.
I mean, that stuff just sounds like a fad. I'm gonna confess this live on stage here.
All right,
I
hold on.
don't think I have successfully listened to one Appalachian chant.
Oh,
I don't.
well, count your blessings, Father.
Is it that bad?
I'm a guy from Appalachia, and I can't stand it.
I live in Appalachia myself. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
But okay, let me take a look here.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're the upper end.
Yeah, I'm in the top Appalachia.
Yep.
So, all right,
Yeah,
let me see
remember
here.
that.
All right, so this is the Christ is risen from the Saint Simeon Orthodox Church Choir, and after that, I guess we'll listen to some Appalachian chant, and I'm gonna give it an honest review. You tell me the worst one, and we'll play it.
Excuse me.
Let me see. Okay. All right. This looks. Looks like it was recorded on a cell phone. So let's see here. Okay. Baka Mojo. That's everyone has new names today. Says I thought the God with Us Appalachian chant was good. I haven't heard any of them, so we'll see. But let me put on this Georgian chant. And then Georgian guy says those Appalachian chants are not good. Okay.
Thank you.
So now we have we have a consensus here.
He's from Georgia, so I gotta trust him. He's from Appalachia. A different Appalachia.
Let me just I still haven't heard it. So I'm gonna go in open minded on Appalachian chant.
All right.
I'm pick your best and your worst. Clearly, Bakamojo says God is with us is good, so I'll give that a chance. And if you could think of the hokiest one, please let me know.
Well, there's a Christ is risen one.
Oh, their Christ is risen doesn't
Yeah,
sound
Appalachian
favorable.
Orthodox chant. Yeah.
Oh boy, here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'm
putting
can
on the
stay.
Georgian first. I want to hear something.
I
Good
can
from
handle the
fucking-
God is with us one, but it's pushing it for me.
All right, so let's go. We're doing
Let's go.
true
Let's go.
music reviews.
All right.
So here we go. Okay, not starting at the beginning.
You're a baby.
Trampling down death, trampling down death, by death and upon those in the tombs. Bestowing life. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death, trampling down death, by death and upon those in the tombs, bestowing life. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death, by death and upon those in the tombs, bestowing life.
Wow.
Huh. That was a lot better. Like,
Wow. They got
I
some
almost want
lungs
to
on
take
them.
away I want to take away the 9.5 from the first guys and give it to these people because wow, even the English I mean clearly when
I mean,
like, the
they
Georgian had
transitioned. That transition
Yeah.
was like seamless.
But what's amazing is that when I listen to the Georgian version of this,
Hmm.
I can hear kind of there's a rhythm, there's a soul to it that they also translate into the English. That wasn't there. I thought that the version I had heard was the best version that existed until I heard this one, and now I realize that one was actually just more of a standard choir piece compared to. I mean, you could literally
I heard
see
the
the
baby.
swaying. Yeah, it was just it was this was way better. This gets the 9.5. Doesn't
Ding,
have a
ding,
Brady
ding.
Bunch visual.
Winning.
Straight, exactly. Winning, absolutely. I would think Georgians should win at their own chant, but boy, did they do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. The Christ is risen Georgian video. Okay, I'm not going to play every Georgian chant. I'm done for today. Maybe once you get to 9.5 to 10, I'm just not as interested anymore. Maybe we'll do it next week. I want to hear Appalachian chant. And so I'm going to give it the fair. Okay, they're saying I do like the God with this chant, but I actually like Appalachian style music.
Oh yeah, I like Appalachian music, but I don't like the
Lindorfer says
the cultural appropriation.
Yeah. Lindorfer says, then review the video of the World Orthodox bishops all saying the vaccine is safe and effective. I mean, I don't want to torture my audience. Maybe 3 people here. All right, so let's see. Taylor Harden with a member chat says, I listen to 12 hours of Gregorian chant with translation subs every night since I'm Western Rite. Okay. That's a good thing to do, especially to gain practice. And I would also recommend listening to different choirs and how they do things because, like, for example, like in my opinion, the best choir that does Western Rite chant is
Benedictine.
no, it is Santo Domingos de Silos comes close, but it's like when I say close, it's because they're just that much better than so much substandard music.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of what's the name of it? Ensemble Organum. They have some very interesting takes on the Western Rite chants and the Mozarabic chants that I would
What was the
recommend
name
to
again?
everyone.
Ensemble or
Ensemble Organum.
all right,
Now,
I'll
this
listen
is one
to.
thing that's when people don't realize this, but organum in Latin before the invention of the organ or its use, the organum voice is fundamentally and practically similar to what is known as an eson in Byzantine chant.
Yeah.
So it's quite amazing. I might put some on and we'll review it.
Okay.
I'll get fresh takes from you and Father Boniface.
All right.
But let's see here. Let's see.
Do you want to do the better one first? Do the God is with us.
I'll do the God is with us chant first because I want to have a good feeling first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm a little more afraid because it says I'm gonna skip the one that says bluegrass style.
Well, it is bluegrass style.
Okay, bluegrass style. Oh.
It is bluegrass.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be fair.
What's up with all the reverb?
It's only on one thing.
It is not the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, this is the good one from what I understand. Hmm. Um.
Sound like they were in Hagia Sophia or something. I don't know where they
Huh?
were. Sound like they were in like Hagia Sophia or something with all that reverb.
Oh no, I think that's definitely unfair to Hagia Sophia. Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this. And I have a lot of thoughts on it. Not that
Probably the same ones I've already expressed a long time ago.
maybe.
Mine are mainly negative.
I will say the piece was aesthetically beautiful.
Yes.
It was like to say that it was like it wasn't beautiful would be wrong.
Well, the one I originally heard were kind of like two dudes looking at each other singing it like that, and I thought their version was better than whatever that was.
Well, that's the problem, and that was one of the problems that I encountered in it. The female voice in it, while very talented, you could tell that was like, I mean, she could do like obviously like old like Irish music with ease. And she sings like the best of the female Irish pop singers that have come out with the high ranges.
Okay, because to me that sounded like nail scratching on a chalkboard. To be honest,
no, that sounded to me like Dolores Curran.
Okay.
So I that to me that actually
You're more gracious than me.
Well, my point is that the reason that it bothered me is because when you hear the contrasts, it doesn't sound like antiphonal singing. It sounds performative, and that bothered me.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching more a musical about the psalm than actually experiencing the psalm. So that's why two dudes singing it. They've got basic similar voice ranges. It's real antiphonal singing. It might not be as pretty as this, but will it sound better?
It's pretty good, but it still feels performative.
Yeah,
and I guess it feels performative in all the instances that I've heard so far, because it just feels forced.
Yeah.
Versus
Ortho says my Scotch Irish Welsh blood approves. Yeah, I could agree with that because it does. It did have that, and it was. I think a lot of it had to do with the female singer.
It just doesn't feel organic. Yeah.
But that's what made it feel performative, because if it was just two regular dudes having to sing that same chant using the same book, would it sound the same? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Let me see here. This one's good too. In my opinion, I think people are going to hate on any chanting grounded in American culture. No, my problem isn't that it's grounded in American culture. I like the sound of it. It's that it doesn't sound like chanting.
It doesn't sound organic to me, to be honest. It sounds forced.
Yeah. Let me see here. Little Wing says it sounds like yodeling with a member chat.
If you look, that is the appellation.
There's some kind of tradition. I wouldn't say that yodeling is in the Appalachians, but it is. You do see it in the style of music sometimes.
Yeah.
If you look up German Orthodox chant, it's really good. Georgian guy says, "Sorry, I keep calling you Georgian guy. I have no idea what your name is." Yeah, the ones I heard are from West Virginia, Roquefort Monastery, and they sound so Protestant. Does this mean should I type in Appalachian chant West Virginia?
Yeah, they got theirs too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes, the two dudes version is my favorite.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Yeah.
Leonidas with a member chat asked thoughts on Seraphim Sobolov being a member of the MP for the last 5 years of his life. A lot of the OCB's credibility hinges on him since their early leaders were tonsured and ordained by it. I think I think it's a valid question. I would say that it is that difficult period with the establishment of the Moscow Patriarchate.
History is messy.
It's messy. I don't know. Basically, what you're asking me is, I assume, whether or not I think the glorification of because they glorified Archbishop Seraphim Sobolov is valid. I think there's questions up in the air about that one.
Well, there's confusing communications at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
The whole thing with St. John of Shanghai and San Francisco, I mean, is
right, but we're willing to give them more credit.
Yeah,
because,
well, we give a little bit.
They left.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that the communication apparatus at the time was like, I mean, that's why they had the Saint Ticon had the UCAS.
The
So
362 because of the difficulty of
because we didn't have email back then. So
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
I got Gregorian chanting. If you go on YouTube and go Gregorian chant dash come, comma, Holy Spirit, Acts 2:4 under Gregorian chanting. Would you scroll that up?
Yeah. Oh, well, I still have to give I want to give the first appellation chant a rating.
Do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Because the quality was there, but it felt less like chant and more like a performance. What are your thoughts, guys?
Okay, I'm between a 5 and a 6.
Oof, harsh. Okay.
I'm a Southern Appalachian guy, so I can I can say bless your heart, guys.
All right, and Father Boniface, I don't know if you want to join in on the voting.
No, I'm not gonna. I pass on this one.
Okay, that's fine. Ortho Pirate says there's such a thing as Appalachian yodeling.
Yeah, there is. It's more like in the Carolinas here in Tennessee.
Known as chodeling. Okay.
Chodeling. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Have you heard the Trisagian hymn in Appalachian? It sounds nice. Yeah.
No.
Chanted.
No, don't do it.
Is it that bad?
Well, I mean, you gave a higher rating than I did, so you might like.
I might not. I mean, I was trying to objectively look at it as music and then try to see if I could assess it as chant. And while I was successful in the first, I wasn't.
So the story is in World Orthodoxy, especially a Southern Orthodox strain of Rokor MP, is trying to have like this whole strain of Southern Orthodoxy.
Yeah, I know.
Is trying to. Oh, I hear myself.
Yeah, I just muted it.
Okay. That's like what.
Not Appalachian. That's a compromise. Says not Appalachian Kremlin chant. I'm just asking. I've been asked to review things. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying there's a context. They're trying to push something, and that's why I say it's forced versus being organic. Because
I agree.
Because all the styles of chant that we have up until this day have been an organic development, right?
Yeah. All right. Parishes Dr. Compromise says parishes across the country are using Appalachian chant, just not in quote the South. Okay. Well, there's also one with a bunch of old believers doing Appalachian. Okay, now it's starting to feel like a fad. Okay.
Yeah, it's called. I'm coining a new term here. It's called cringe fad.
I put the one in the sidebar.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Hold on.
Now I'll confess, I'm not as it might be too musical and not enough.
Please tell me there's no instruments in it. Because a lot of the modern Gregorian chant stuff has instruments in it.
It might have something, but it's subtle. I forget. I don't know if it's a ison or if it's a organ.
Well, you can tell the difference.
Maybe not.
What are we looking for again?
Father, I'm on your sidebar there. It's called Orthodox chanting. ING.
Orthodox chanting.
Acts 2:4.
Acts 2:4.
Orthodox chanting or Gregorian chanting?
Gregorian chanting. I'm sorry.
Gregorian chanting. All right. Anything else I should put in the search?
No.
Okay. Let me see what happens.
No organs.
Oh, I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid because I already see the AI picture in it, and I'm wondering if this was actually produced by people.
We'll figure it out real quick.
Yeah.
That's it.
Spiritus Sanctus descendat super nos, flamma amoris accende corda nostra, dona sapienti et consilii, fortitudinis et timoris Domini. Repenos lumine celesti, et dirige nos in semitis vita. Veni, o lux veritatis.
I'm gonna give 3 minutes because this is 30 minutes worth.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that just repeats itself.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I already noticed.
So
it.
you pretty much got it. That's
Okay, I
it.
mean-
You don't have to.
Yeah,
Like
the
a-
Gregorian tonality in it sounds flawless. Actually, I hate to say this, but it sounds almost a little too flawless.
Yeah, I didn't even hear
there was-
breathing.
Yeah, I was like, I know it was beautifully done. I just don't think it was done by people. Like
No.
yeah, this was definitely done by a computer.
No kidding. That's what.
But it sounded.
That's pretty good for AI. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're giving a grade on the AI curve, I mean, I'd give this an 8 or 9. You know, this was pretty good.
What gives it away, Father, is there's no breathiness to it.
Yeah, it
Right.
was so smooth that it didn't sound like it was sung by people.
Yeah.
And you know what? You cannot peg their identity. They don't have a website. They don't have the lyrics. They're not printed out.
No,
You can't find them.
Yeah, it points to AI.
Yeah, if you look at the description, it sounds like it looks like it was.
I
Written
mean,
by
you can
ChatGPT.
compose stuff with AI. Compose music. That's crazy. My brother's done it on his phone. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and I'm not. I mean, you know, it sounds like like it fits in the kind of Gregorian family category.
That's
Do I
really
know
cool.
that that's actually the Roman tone for
I doubt it.
Spirit? I doubt
It's
it.
I doubt it. It's a new it's a modification, but it's set in, let's say, a modernistic setting. Like, it hits my ear for this contemporary world, and it's like very sing-songy. I can catch it. It's easy to pick up.
Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Oh, sorry.
What? Go ahead.
We forgot to do Christ is risen, Appalachian Orthodox.
Oh boy, this is the one that is gonna
Yeah,
hurt. Okay.
yeah. This is your moment of truth, Father.
AI generated it should get a 0 out of 10. I mean, I guess you could make that argument. I don't know. I mean, I like some things that can be produced with AI, so I'm not gonna do that. I will say that I'm grading it on a computer scale, not a human scale, and I'd say it's an 8. On a human scale, I would probably go closer to a 2 or 3 because there's a lot of mistakes. But yeah, well, it sounded like they were saying the Latin. It just said they were saying it in a kind of weird way.
Yeah, that too. I noticed that, like, the pronunciation was like, huh?
Yeah. Dr. Compromise says, like, World Orthodox bishops pushing Appalachian chant in other states that border Canada. Yeah, I believe it.
Really?
River says, you really got to find the one with the 2 guys singing it. Makes it seem doable. I will give the 2 guys a chance.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
I'm gonna hear that first. That we're gonna hear this Appalachian Christ is risen chant that scares.
Okay, hold on. Let me plug my ears while you're doing it. Let me know when you're done.
I'm afraid now. Or should we go to the West Virginia Rocor Monastery and hear that?
No, choose your poison.
Great. Is this Appalachian? The O Gladstone. Oh my gosh, I love O Gladstone Light
No,
as an
don't do
Orthodox
it.
hymn.
I haven't heard that
Is
one, but don't do it. If you like it,
I
don't
feel
do it.
like
It'll
this.
ruin it.
No, I mean, no, it can't ruin it because I know the Byzantine version, and that one is my favorite one.
Yeah, that is a beautiful
So
version.
that can never change, but now I have to do it.
Okay, let's do it. I've never heard it, so we'll give an honest
Here it
review.
goes. I'm gonna let everyone else go with their ratings first.
That doesn't sound Apple. It sounds like a modified Valon chant to me.
Any thoughts on this one, Father Boniface, or you want to sit this one out? Because I have an opinion. I'm gonna probably make some people mad.
I mean, I don't particularly
You know what I'll say
care
about this?
What?
I'm first off gonna give my numerical rating, and that's a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was actually that actually offended me, and I'm gonna explain why. The first part, you're correct, and so is Bakamojo saying that didn't sound like Appalachian chant. It didn't. What it sounded to me was like a pastiche of the Russian O Gladsome Light with some kind of emotional lifts that you can kind of pull from
that's what I'm saying. Modified
is right, but here's the bad part. You're right. It also sounded Valam-esque, which tends to smushify the sound a lot.
Yes,
like I can hear the words in the Greek or the Russian or the Latin chant. I can hear the words. Here, I felt like you had to go with the feeling of like,
you hear the tones more than
part.
Yeah.
The Son part, the Holy Spirit part. The prayer was lost in the attempt to make this some sort of superior unified chant, and then call it appellation. Maybe add like a oh, and that's it. Like that to me.
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is
just opinion.
So what you're saying is just garbage, rather.
Yeah, it was lazy. It was lazily created with really ambitious intentions, and the sound is one that is definitely performance, very little prayer, and no, I just wouldn't.
All right.
Yeah, I think I did very generic. I'm sorry if that was too harsh of a ranking. I was ready to go with anything that is.
Well, you give it higher than I would have given it. I was going to give it a 0.
Well, I give it a 1.
Yeah, I know. I was going to give it a 0.
The only reason I wouldn't give it a 1 is, I wouldn't give it a 0 is because at least it wasn't produced by AI.
That's fair. I'll give it half a point.
Yeah, that was no.
I'll take the Byzantine one any day.
Yeah, that's classic, and that's,
so now you have to do the Christ is risen Appalachian, because that might actually sound Appalachian.
Christ is risen. Here we go.
Yep, and it'll be short. Might be really short if you can't stand it.
And then I'm going to get to the other comments. Christ is risen Appalachian melody. Should I go with the one that looks well produced, or the one that's just used in a church?
Let's go well produced this time.
All right.
See how it works out.
Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down.
Okay, wait. Hold on a second. I got to stop this right now. First
that's
off,
the one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Appalachian chant, but it sounds like a lot of the people can't actually sing in English. So,
all right, try the other one.
Sorry,
try the other one. Try the other one.
I'm going to try this one. Okay, you want me to try the other one? Be fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be fair.
Yeah, this might be the old believers that just decided that they really wanted to get into Appalachian chant. Here we go.
That's an OCA parish.
That's what?
It's an OCA parish. They're stomping when they say stomping death by death. Or trampling death. Hear it?
Yeah. It actually distracts.
Yep. Now I hope they're barefoot.
I'm gonna be honest. Okay, let me get to some comments. I know I missed Ortho Pirate's comments on Sacred Harp. As a side comment, Sacred Harp music runs deep in American roots, so it's not too hard for me to imagine Appalachian style music to be appealing to American Protestant converts to World Orthodoxy.
Yep.
And then Linderford says Sacred Orthodox chant needs to happen. If you've never heard Sacred Harp, you've noticed the similarity. I have not. Because many people from the British Isles immigrated to Canada. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back here. Let's get to these. What women having head coverings is virtually extinct in OCA parishes. I would say that that's from the top down. Or the part says that's not Appalachian music, that's just Southern Baptist, LOL. And then that's what first one reminded me of Brother Where Art Thou movie. Yeah, I kind of did. Find the two dudes.
Hey, I like that movie.
2 dudes. I'm gonna say this. I will say this. Out of all the Appalachian quote unquote stuff that I've heard tonight, this was the only thing that sounded legitimately like a chant. I thought that encouraging children to stomp on the floor when Christ stomps death by death or tramples down death by death, but was tacky and unnecessary. But without it, the music to me, it sounded pretty. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10.
The only place I've
and I'm
seen people trampling like that is OCA, and I don't know why they do it.
probably because the priest said it was a good idea. Sorry, I have no mercy left for the OCA after last week.
Yeah, hey,
I'm done. I'm
yeah,
done
that's
being
okay.
nice.
That's all right. I mean, it is what
Yeah,
it is.
okay. Now everyone's like, fine, two guys. Okay, two people are like, find the two dudes one.
Yeah,
dudes.
two dudes.
What is the two dudes?
I can't remember
Two
what it's
dudes
called.
Appalachian chant. Two dudes.
Orthodox. You gotta put Orthodox. Oh, I used to know the guy's name. I just can't remember.
I don't see it. Oh.
Can one of y'all find the title of it? That might help.
Yeah, maybe find the title before you do this. This isn't bad. It's just that stomping. I'm like, why do that? And I know that it wasn't the kids' idea. It just sounds weak with that stomping. It gets distracted.
We're gonna have a hoedown next time.
Yeah, it sounds pretty it honestly, it's like somehow they managed to create modern.
We're gonna do a barn dance.
Like if you also if you take out the stomping, it sounds like boomer chant that you used to hear in a lot of World Orthodox churches. Like that was applied. It was like this heavily westernized like Slavonic chant that sounded just.
Hey, Schmemann would be proud.
Okay, it's called "God Is With Us" Appalachian style. Didn't I just listen to that?
You listened to a version of it, but
oh boy. Let me see. God is with us.
The other one's more a cappella and a lot less reverb.
Yeah, all right. Let's see. Is this it? Are these two guys? This looks like the same thing I heard. It might be this. This one has two guys in it.
Yeah, let's try that. Oh, that's the one. That's one. That's one. Yeah, that's one, Father.
Yeah.
And submit yourselves, for God is with us. Hear ye, even unto the uttermost ends of the earth, for God is with us. Submit yourselves, ye mighty ones, for God is with us. If again ye shall rise up in your might, again shall ye be overthrown, for God is with us. If any take counsel together, then shall the Lord destroy. For God is with us, and the word which you shall speak shall not abide in you. For God is with us. For we fear not your terror, neither are we troubled. For God is with us. But the Lord our God, He is to whom we will ascribe holiness, sanctification, for God is with us. I will set my hope on Him, and through Him shall I be saved. For God is with us. Though I and the children whom God hath given me, for God is with us. The people that walk in darkness have seen a great light, for God is with us. And they that dwell in the land of the shadow of death shall not fear, for God is with us. And for unto us a son is born, unto us a child is given, for God is with us, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, for God is with us, and of his peace there shall be no end, for God is with us.
Okay. Alrighty.
Father, let us have it.
Honestly, here's the issue. And again, I think first off, that was technically beautiful. It was not one thing that impressed me was the fact that they actually were doing some kind of chant tradition. And what I mean by that is you can tell because they were reading the scripture from their phone, and then when they lost their place, they were able to mentally retrain themselves to pick themselves back up. That tells you that that is a clear type of chant that they're using, and that they are capable of using it with any psalm, not just Psalm 102. So to me, that would be a better basis for trying to do anything with Appalachian chant in Orthodoxy, is start by working the Psalter.
I think
instead of
I don't know if you could tell it, Father, but I think they were cribbing off one of the Byzantine tones.
I couldn't. It sounded like the music you'd hear at a modern cowboy movie when the bad guy gets shot.
Well, I was thinking it has a certain amount of Irish style to it too.
To some degree, it does, yeah. And the organum or the attempt at an organum, I don't know what that was because it was like half organum and then suddenly it would switch into half high voice. So yeah, it was that one was. That was musically. I'd give that a 7 or 8. I don't know how usable it would be.
I mean, I don't really like it, but I would consider that more of an organic development than the other crud that I listened to. Yeah.
I would say that too. It absolutely was way more organic. Like you could tell that was naturally coming from the people as opposed to from some liturgical committee who said we're going to write Appalachian now.
All right.
Or the pirate says, search Sacred Harp 277 Antioch and you'll see the connection. It's in American blood. Okay.
All right.
And this is the last one because we are now going almost on 11. So this is the last one. Sacred Harp 277 Antioch. Okay. Cancel. That's the wrong thing. Yeah. Interesting. That last one was interesting. Some of these other ones were not. That especially that West Virginia thing, that was
no bueno.
That was awful.
So what distinguishes the Appalachian style
I'm guessing it's the bluegrass kind of
It
thinking.
really depends where you are in Appalachia, to be honest. You can tell.
How is bluegrass influencing? Like, for instance, I play guitar. So, a lot of the Baptist hymnal, 3-chord, major, major, seventh, all the time. Bluegrass is so much like that. They're 3-chord melodies. And so, I'm kind of looking for that style, whereas the last one sounded to me to be more like heavily Irish in its.
I think we've hit the right spot here, Father, because I'm looking here. I found the 277 Antioch Second Ireland Sacred Harp Convention 2012.
Yeah, I mean it's Scotch Irish descendants over here. So I mean,
yeah, but here's what blew my mind. Yeah. The third item listed by YouTube from Antioch 277 was called Small Town Murder Songs. And I just thought it just fit with that whole. Yeah, okay, let's
murder your ears.
Hopefully not. Oh, let me I gotta share. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of comments. I know it. This is terrible. I'm trying my best. Let's see. And then yeah.
No song request. We're full.
See, they say a lot of the Negro spirituals were sung by the Negroes, let's say, on the plantations, due to the influence of the psalm singers from Scotland, Ireland, Wales, whatever.
Well, that's where we get blues from.
Yeah. But this is definitely not an episode that's going to turn into a discussion on the various musical styles, because I don't think I can handle that.
I'm not nowhere near an expert, so I can. Oh, wow. It's the same sound.
Okay, what are our thoughts so far?
Sounds exactly like the last thing. You throw a little bit of twang and high voice in there.
Well, this one you clearly see that there's a melody that's they started with before it goes into I know with my Redeemer. I know my Redeemer liveth, because I think that it's kind of like if you're familiar with rounds or things like that.
Yeah,
when you're starting your choir, you go through those like these intro sounds,
like row your boat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. The convention. Yes.
I can't do it.
So how does this mix with English plain chant that we do in our own Psalter? You see, we do English plain chant, and then you've got the you've got the Book of Common Prayer, their chant. The English church's chant.
In plain chant, just like rhythmic reading versus.
Yeah, plain chant is closer to reading. Well, Gregorian chant is more complicated.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Gregorian plain chant. That's what we do in the Western Rite with our Psalter. We do Gregorian plain chant. And even
isn't that more sing-songy though?
Oh yeah, and you've got the St. Dunstan Psalter, which is.
Could be. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
Well, I'm just trying to open up a little bit of the history of chanting and its contemporary usages, which actually have some points in history that go pretty far back. But I mean, I'm not an expert on all this stuff, but it's just like I've been searching for just how to teach congregations these chants, you know, and work them through for the benefit of people. And so the benefit of the Western Rite churches. And so it's a challenge.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. You know, let me see here. Yeah, George Lynn says, "Father,
as long
you
as we
need to
don't go
hear
to
Holy."
hip hop chant in like Chicago or something, we'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm gonna actually, you know, I'm picking the song last, and so that's
cleanse the palate.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some ensemble organum here for a second.
Okay. Which version of O Gladsome Light do you like?
Huh?
Which version of O Gladsome Light? Is there a specific one online you like?
I like the one that I learned at HTM.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let me see here. Because this is, hold on, give me a second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eucharistic prayer because we only have a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
Actually, this is the peace prayer. Okay, so I like that. Hold on, wait. Oh, Black Earth Wackalite with a 9.99 super chat. What do you think of the chanting Gregory of Colorado uses in some of his intros? Keeps the lights on. I actually don't really watch his videos if I don't have to.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't need. Yes, chant.
I'd say that I'd give an opinion, but I actually do not watch his videos regularly. Like, someone has to drag me to one. So thank you again for helping keep the lights on. Really appreciate it. Adding that to the total. JG7923 asks, are the Benedictine monks okay since they were around before the schism? Well, some of them are. Some of them are good. I would say Santo Domingo de Silos is probably one of the better ones. But you know, some people have they're like other monasteries stuff.
Good for music, not good for doctrine.
Yeah, you know, as I said, it's Solemns is a pretty good one. Basically anything that doesn't have alternating male and female singers and an organ in it, I will probably tolerate. Let's see. Gabriel Michael 43 says, much has been lost in America in the past century. Our parish was noted for its rich history of Carpathian chant. It is all but vanished now as our old timers have departed. I'm one of the 2 or 3 left. I'm sorry to hear that. Linderford says, the real palate cleanser is bell ringing of Holy Trinity Monastery in Jordanville. That's just your opinion, man. The Gregory Colorado chants are just him chanting. Pretty cringe if you ask me. Thank you, Georgian guy, and thanks. Somebody said hard pass. Oh, that was Orthodox traditionalists. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad OTP's in it. OTP is right there with me. We've had this conversation.
Yeah. To midnight. To midnight. No, that's not fair to us. So
$500.
$500 right now. No. I'm gonna close out actually. I think I should.
My pillow's calling.
Yeah. But in any case, that was interesting to say let's see. I missed Adrian White's comment. There's a religious freedom law here in Portugal. Also, properties built before 1941 do not require permission for changes of use. Like mine, whole deserted villages, as EU citizens they can come. I'm not reviewing the Negro spiritual chant yet. This has been a very complicated episode. I had no idea I'd run out of time so quickly.
And we need to, Father, just as an aside, I think we need to do a chill stream like this every so often. I actually enjoyed this one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to edit this because I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I was confused by it for most of it, so please forgive me. OP 25.
It was because you didn't have any Joe Nuts and coffee.
And 10. So yeah, let's put this up as an ending here. We reached our goal by $34, so it was as far as I'm concerned, it was a big success, and we need to ring, of course. Oh, wrong
one. Winning.
All right, and with that, allow me to run to the end of the stream. If I missed your comments, I apologize. Orthodox traditionalist says sleep is for the weak. Sleep delays books. Yes, I know.
For you, subdeacon.
All right, and so let me just quickly read out as I usually do every night. I will say thank you to everyone, to Father Boniface, Reader John for being here, kind of co-hosting with me. Did anyone else pop in? I don't remember. I don't think so though. But if they did, thank you to our listeners, to those who had questions and those who had comments and those who support our mission. Support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net or on Give, Send, Go. We remember all of you in our prayers and thank you for the support for NFTU. And as always, if this has helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good night, everyone. Through the prayers of Holy Father, so Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us and save us.
Amen.
Amen.